all kind of going through it recently, right? It's not just me. If it is me, then okay. A lot has happened in the past month or so. As you can tell, I'm a redhead now, so that's a big change. But also, there's just been a lot going on in my life. First of all, I wanted to apologize that this month's Plan With Me is a little bit later than what you guys are normally used to. I feel like this is the first time in the 5 years that I've been making these videos that I haven't posted this Plan With Me before the month starts, the new month starts, which is kind of crazy, and I was really sad, but I have some really big news that will explain why everything has been so chaotic, especially with content lately. That's gonna be in the next video. I really want to say it in this one, but there's still a few things that I need to confirm before saying it out loud. But let's just say it's a brand new step and chapter in my life that I'm very excited to share with you guys, and it's pretty big. That'll be in the next video. Don't worry, you don't need to wait too long to find out. And other than that, in terms of life updates, I've just been kind of living my life. One of my goals this summer and this year in general was just to really focus on myself and growing myself personally outside of YouTube and content creation, because you guys know that it was definitely burning me out and something was feeling off recently. So I've really had to take some time to myself, and that's not a surprise if any of you guys have been keeping up with my social media. I know it's been like this long process and focusing on myself, which has been so good for me. And it's been kind of re-inspiring me to make different types of videos. I've been filming some new video series that will be coming out eventually that I'm so excited about. I've been working on Shop ARL stuff, the 2023 Doodle Planner. I've been hanging out with good friends, meeting people. Thank you guys for understanding, especially with the Plan With Me's. I know that some of you guys really look forward to these videos coming out at certain times, and it's been a part of your routine for so many years, as it has been for me as well. This whole year has just been very transitional for me, so I'm still trying to figure everything out. Okay, I'm rambling, and I feel like I said a whole lot of nothing, but in the next couple of videos, just keep an eye out, because there's gonna be some super big announcements and exciting things. And yeah, so let's just get into Plan With Me, which will be a little bit different this month as well. So yeah, we're just trying a lot of new things. We love it. So grab your notebook and pencil if you're planning or just hanging out with me while you listen to me ramble some more, and let's get started. First of all, I wanted to say I'm sorry if my voice sounds a little bit weird throughout this voiceover. I kind of lost my voice earlier, but I still needed to record this, so we're doing it anyway. But anyway, in the spirit of this month being a little bit different for me and transitional, and you know, we're trying new things, for my bullet journal theme this month, I decided to only use one pen for the entire setup, which is this Uniball Signo 0.38. If you've watched any of my previous videos, then you might know that I love using this pen just to write in my bullet journal, like the lists and any like body text. But for this one, I just decided to use it for the entire thing. There's a couple reasons for this, one of which being I actually wasn't at home when I filmed this, so I didn't have my entire stationery collection at my disposal, so I wanted to use what I had on me. I know I could have bought some markers or something, but honestly, I also wanted to just challenge myself to try something different just by using this one pen, and I feel like it also shows you guys that you can pretty much do anything in your bullet journal, even if you don't have a lot of supplies. Second reason being, this style of doodling is something that I've been doing a lot recently on my TikTok and Instagram. I have this series where I've been doodling in this really long accordion style notebook, and it's been fun because I've been just doodling whatever comes to my mind in that notebook with this pen in this sort of like black and white abstract style, while also showcasing clips of my life. And this style of doodling is something that I like doing because I can really just turn off my mind and not have to worry about everything looking perfect or realistic, or sticking to a theme. And surprisingly, those videos did really well on TikTok and Instagram. So I'm definitely going to do more of those on my social media there, but I thought I would carry it over into my bullet journal setup video for this month just to experiment more with this style. Even though it might look really complicated to draw in this style when you just look at the illustration right now, if you look at how I'm actually drawing and doodling, this is like, to me, in my mind, true doodling, because I have no plan going into this. I did not know what composition, I didn't know what I was doodling, and obviously I didn't sketch anything out beforehand. And if I mess up, quote unquote, you just kind of work around it, fill in any empty spaces, and it's just a really fun way to doodle, in my opinion. I do really like doodling like this because it almost feels therapeutic in a way, and it feels like it represents what's going on in my mind. I'm sure someone can do like an analysis of what these subconscious doodles represent. And even though these clips are obviously sped up, if I showed you guys the real-time clips, you would actually be surprised at how fast I'm doodling this. It seems like a lot of drawing, but because of how quick I'm doodling and really, not worried about things looking perfect, this entire cover page didn't take me too long to do at all. And as you can see, sometimes I am drawing things that are recognizable, like flowers or leaves, and like this face that I'm drawing, and other times I'm just filling in empty spaces with squiggles or wavy lines, and I feel like it does give it this very surreal, doodly look. It's actually really funny to me that I've come back to this style of doodling because I realized that I have photos from middle school of binders and notebooks that I would doodle on, and it would be in this exact style. Like, it looks really similar. I'll try to see if I can dig up any photos of them, but I guess this style of doodling has always spoken to me even as a child. So yeah, I'm really glad that the accordion style notebook sketchbook videos that I've been doing recently have reignited this love for the pure doodle. So I hope you guys also have fun doodling if you're going to recreate this theme. Try not to recreate exactly how I drew this cover page. I would love to see how you guys kind of doodle from your mind in this style on your own and see what comes from your brains, because that's, I think, what's the coolest part about this. Anyway, we're kind of getting near the end of this cover page. I didn't want to fill the entire page, although at some point during the month, if I ever get bored, I might try to just fill in any empty spaces throughout the setup, which I think is also a fun aspect of this theme, is that I can always go back and add more doodles on top of it, and it's kind of like an unfinished work that will keep growing throughout the month. As I was doodling, since I was only using one pen, I noticed that sometimes it could look a little flat or not dynamic, so I would go over certain lines to look a little bit thicker, or also color in certain areas so that they would be solid black, just to add a little bit more dimension. I didn't go back in to clean things or fix things up too much though, because I still wanted to keep those loose, sketchy, natural lines that I had put down initially. So on the other side of the cover page, I did my monthly calendar spread, and for this, again, since I only have the one pen that I'm using, I kept this calendar really simple. I just have the days of the week going across, and I drew out a simple box calendar layout. I believe the boxes were 3 by 3. And I know I definitely could have filled in this page more with doodles, but again, in the spirit of keeping things a little bit simpler for myself during this hectic month, I just added a few doodles in the top corners and the bottom corners. Oh, I also added a little drop shadow to spice things up a little bit in an easy way. But yeah, overall, I wanted these spreads to be very quick and easy for me to do, but also for other people to recreate, and, adding those doodles in just as a little fun thing to spice things up. Again, I can always keep growing the doodles as the months go on if I'm ever bored while looking at my bullet journal. Also, sorry if some of these clips are a little bit out of focus. I didn't realize until after, but hopefully you can still kind of see the gist of what I'm doing. And again, there's going to be a flip through as usual at the end.
I ended up adding a small quote at the bottom of the cover page that just says keep your feet on the ground. I wanted it to be really small to blend in with the doodles, but just as a little reminder for myself. Moving on to my trackers, so again, in keeping the layouts really simple, we really have like the bare bones of what I normally do for my trackers. So of course title, and then we have the mini calendars in which I just outlined the boxes with this one pen, and we have 3 columns of the trackers and 3 rows as well. I didn't space out the trackers well enough vertically, but that's okay because it left us with a lot of space at the bottom to fill it in with more of these black and white doodles. I also made the labels, I added a drop shadow to the labels, and some of the habits that I'm tracking this month are working out, taking my vitamins, my iron pills, because I have been struggling with iron deficiency. Those of you guys who have that will know the struggle. And then also drawing and singing, because something that I've been doing recently is taking songwriting lessons just for fun. So that's something that I have added on to the list of habits. For the doodles, we're just going in with my classic wave designs. At this point, these waves have become like a part of my identity. As you guys know, I have the wavy notebooks, the swirl notebook collection, and I just love a good wavy pattern. So of course they do make an appearance a lot throughout this theme, but it also adds as a nice divider for a lot of these doodles. I like to fill in a lot of the empty spaces with waves, so that's a little trick if you're looking to recreate this same style of doodles in your bullet journal. Use a lot of waves and swirls. It makes things look very mystical and magical, which I really like. For this month's mood tracker, I'm doing something quite a bit different. Instead of selecting a color to represent a mood and then filling in a drawing or a box or anything, I'm actually going to be doodling every day something that represents my mood to go along with this doodle theme. So after you see me make this banner in the center, you're going to see that I write out all of the numbers of the days of the month and just kind of give each number a space, an area on the page, and I'll just doodle something every day that I guess represents what's going on in my mind, whether it's a direct representation like a smiley face or something. Who knows, maybe it'll just end up being a lot of swirls, but I thought this was a fun way to force myself to doodle a little bit every day, but also keeping in line with the theme and having a little bit fun with it. So we'll see how this mood tracker comes out. I feel like it's not so much a mood tracker as more like a brain dump, a daily brain dump page, if you will. So we'll see. Next, we're doing a spread that I haven't done in quite a while, which is my playlist spread, and I decided to reincorporate this into this month because I actually have been listening to quite a lot of new music recently. It's definitely been something that has been healing me, is just connecting with a lot of different types of music. So for this playlist spread, I doodled a phone with a list of songs, and around the phone I added some of my abstract swirly doodles, of course. If you are interested in seeing what I've been listening to lately, I'm gonna make a whole Spotify playlist with these songs and a couple more, but some of the highlights includes New Jeans. I've been obsessed with their songs recently. What else do we have? There's a lot of girl group songs, some from IVE, Girls' Generation, Junie, Loewe, and it's exciting because a lot of these people that I'm listening to are actually going to be on tour soon, so I'm seeing a lot of these artists play live this month, which is going to be exciting because I just love listening to live music, and you guys know I just love music in general. So again, if you're curious, I'll leave the Spotify playlist down below, but I added those wavy doodles around it just to spice things up a little bit, and I really like how that playlist spread turned out. Next to it, I'm making a small, quick little quote page. The quote says, "Let it hurt, then let it go," which I feel like is a good way to think about processing any emotions or healing. You definitely need to let yourself feel these things, and then you're able to move on. So, don't suppress things, don't dwell on it too much, but, just really allowing yourselves to validate your emotions on how you feel about any situation. And I did that quote page, so it looks like it's on a little sticky note with the doodles on it as well. For this weekly spread, we're keeping things very simple, so I have a weekly events bar at the top, which is where I just put my appointments and any important events, and then I'm just drawing out one label for the day of the week because I'm going to be doing a rolling task list. That way I just have perfectly the right amount of planning space for each day. Basically, once I finish a task list for a day, I'll start the next day right underneath it, and it creates no wasted space, but it also allows you to have longer lists or list out random things that maybe aren't even task related if need be, and it'll also give me a lot of space to doodle if I want to add things during certain days, or not at all. But anyway, here's the final flip through of my September 2022 bullet journal. This was really, really therapeutic for me in terms of just not caring about a theme too much or making sure that the doodles are perfect, and just paring it back to using one pen for this entire bullet journal setup. So I hope you guys enjoyed it and got some inspiration from it.
Alright friends, that was the plan with me. Hope you guys enjoyed this month. While we talk and wrap up, here are some of your recreations from last month. Super cute. If you guys do recreate this month or previous months, be sure to tag me on Instagram and all the other social medias at AmandaRachLee. And other than that, like I mentioned at the beginning, just keep an eye out for all of the big announcements and news. There's just been so much going on, and it's been a little bit hard to keep up with everything, as you can probably tell. Anyway, I'm gonna stop now. So I hope you guys have a really lovely week. Keep doodling, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye everyone.